everyone, I am Zazubar, and welcome to another edition of the Demons from Outer Space. Joining me as always I have Super DM64.
Hello, I am back from an extended tour of Orca torture.
And doing trivia challenges.
Indeed.
It's kind of what I've been doing, because we're doing this as the final project in TV1 in college. We're doing a game show. We have to actually do a real game show. It's fucking terrible. But I'm the host, and it's a trivia show.
You have to give out
prizes.
Do you have to give out prizes and shit?
No, we don't even keep score. It's literally just there so we can learn how to use all the equipment, which is really, really cool, because you get to learn how to do live cutting and shit. Like, you get to switch and insert audio tracks. It's all done live, so it was kind of cool to learn how to do that, but the show is awful. So that was a problem. But Dylan and I are back from a while since we recorded. It hasn't been as long for you folks listening, because we recorded the Thanksgiving special about 3 days before it went up. So we haven't, and we didn't do SOS last week, so we haven't talked in a while.
Indeed.
And you would think we would have a lot of catching up to do. But alas, we talked for about 45 minutes before we started recording this podcast.
You don't get to hear the catching up.
No, you don't. So instead, you will get... So to pay you folks back listening at home, what I've decided to do to start this thing off is to do something I've never done before on the Demons from Outer Space podcast. I'm going to put all the pressure on Dylan. Dylan, lead the charge. What do you want to talk about?
Yeah.
Isn't this riveting?
Are you fucking serious? Okay.
No, I figure I always do most of the talking.
Yeah.
And especially last week with my 2.5-hour rant about orcas. So, Dylan, what's on your mind, dude? What do you want to talk about? What do you want to discuss? Never mind, I'll tell you what we're going to discuss. No.
This is the reason that Bill usually does most of the talking.
No, I actually do have something in mind I want to talk about. I just figured I'd fucking put all the pressure on you. You cracked, dude. You failed the test.
I'm going to think of something. I'm not very good at starting conversations.
That's okay. Well, I'll tell you, I'm going to start it off, and I want you to take the reins from me. Dylan, I have had, over the past couple days, due to doing the trivia show at college, I've had to, look up a bunch of random fucking weird facts to use as trivia questions. And one of the best fucking things to use for trivia, just when you don't have any ideas, is fucking phobias, dude. Just go online and look up a list, like an alphabetical list of phobias. It is amazing fodder for weird-ass but good trivia questions. Because it's just like, this phobia is fear of what? What is the fear of blank called? And some of the shit that you find on these phobia sites are fucking awesome. Just some of the greatest phobias ever. Like, just the fact that they exist is like, somebody out there is afraid of this.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't even know. I've never met anybody that was afraid of blank.
I guarantee that's a real phobia. But Dylan, I wanted to ask you, do you have any phobias? Any overt phobias? Everyone's got fears. Everybody's afraid of dying. Everybody's afraid of fucking, like, explosions or...
Yeah,
Everybody has the basic fears, but do you have any specific, like, overt phobias? Like, I can't be around fucking spiders or sharks or something?
Well, I mean, I've never been around a shark, so I don't know how I would be in that situation.
I don't know why I use that as an example, but...
Because...
Listen, Dylan, you decide to do a live interpretation of Jaws in which you are Quint.
When you live in a landlocked state, fear of sharks is just irrational.
Well, you live in Tennessee, don't you?
Yeah, it's landlocked.
Don't you guys have the Mississippi River running through it?
The Mississippi River doesn't have sharks, Bill.
Yes, it does.
It does?
Bull sharks, yeah.
There are Mississippi sharks.
Yeah.
Why is this not a movie?
It is. It's called Red Water. It's fucking awful, but it does exist. No, bull sharks breathe in fresh water.
Oh.
So they've been found in Illinois.
But Do rivers count though? Like when people say landlocked state, I think they're pretty much talking about not having any.
No, I know. I'm not saying that you're wrong. I'm not saying that your state isn't landlocked. I'm saying your state has sharks in it.
Oh.
Wait. Does the Mississippi River run through Tennessee?
Yeah, it's over on our western border. Now, mind you, I never go to West Tennessee.
You have a thing against it?
West Tennessee, some scary shit, man.
Why?
People get shot in West Tennessee. No, I'm good.
What cities are in West Tennessee?
Memphis.
Is that really a really bad city?
Memphis used to be a nice city, but from all accounts I've heard, it is now a shithole. Like this is the Chicago of the South.
Was it because of? Is Chicago really? I thought it was Detroit that's doing really bad.
Detroit. There's also a lot of crime in Chicago as well.
Yeah, well, but is it still so bad we're going to be called a shithole? Like Detroit, that's a shithole. But and anyone who lives in Detroit, I apologize, but I think you'll even agree.
I hope not, because I have plans to go to Chicago.
Well, so do I.
I hope not to get shot.
Well, dude, knowing me, we're not going to leave that hotel. We'll just be locked in our rooms, fucking watching TV or fucking sleeping. Knowing me, that's what's going to happen.
It's because getting shot would just put a real bummer on my whole day.
Indeed. But for how long has it been a bad city?
Are you talking about Memphis?
Yeah.
I'm not really sure.
Has it always been described as that way since you were a kid?
As far as I can remember, yes.
So it's probably been that way for a couple decades at least.
Like, I know back when Elvis was alive, it was a nice place to be, apparently.
Everything was a nice place to be when Elvis was alive, according to myth. Not according to fact.
When you have a celebrity, it just makes that part of your state even better. I mean...
Well, no, it's just you look back on what a celebrity does, and you don't think about the other things that happened in the state. You're like, oh, Elvis played there. It must have been a nice city.
Right. I mean, the only reason that East Tennessee is still good right now is because they have Dolly Parton.
Right, exactly. And you have that crazy hair. But back to phobias. So you don't have any overt phobias?
No, I don't think I have any like specific phobias in like the clinical sense.
Like nothing that just the thought of it creeps you out or like makes you want to leave the situation.
I don't think so.
Fear of heights, like you're okay at heights?
Yeah, I do okay with heights. When I was younger, I was scared of heights, but
I think most kids are afraid of heights.
I'm okay.
Like I was definitely afraid of heights when I was a kid.
I'm okay with heights now. Of course, I don't know. I'm not in heights very often, but on the rare,
I bring you up to a fucking. I'm like, Dylan, are you okay? You're like, ah!
I visit New York, and you're like, okay, we're going to the top of the Empire State Building.
Oh fuck no, we're not. We're not going to the top of the Empire State Building. I tried that. Have I told this story to you about what happened when I tried to shoot something up there once? Not with a gun, like with a camera. That's an important distinction that'll impact how the story is told.
I went up to the top of the Empire State Building so I could hunt down King Kong. And
apparently that's not legal or some shit. Like apparently me, a tax-paying American, cannot bring a minigun up to the top of the Empire State Building. Who knew?
That's a darn shame.
It's a darn shame.
This country is imploding.
No, but I've never told you the story about what happened when I tried to shoot a video up there once.
No.
Oh, okay. Let me tell the story. So this is back when Godzilla Palooza was being shot. The intro video. The intro video was supposed to be shot entirely in New York, in the city. And well, the idea was that I was going to go to the top of the Empire State Building and film out the window and have Godzilla kind of pass by the window, which is in the actual intro, but it was originally supposed to be entirely live action except for Godzilla.
Mm-hmm.
The final intro is every part of it is either green screen or CGI or a previously composited image. Like that picture of New York is one I took. Godzilla's obviously put in there. I'm over a green screen, so it was all kind of faked. But I was originally supposed to actually be in New York. In Manhattan. So what happened was we originally tried to do it with the Chrysler Building because we didn't want to go to a platform with a lot of tourists. So we're like, what if we just go to, like, an office and try and do it where nobody's around and just do it really quick?
Because who tours the Chrysler building?
And then we got in there, like, oh, apparently a lot of people tour the Chrysler building. So we're like, this is not going to work. So we go back to the Empire State Building, originally not wanting to do that because it's surrounded by tourists. And this was the middle of August. Or no, I'm sorry. The end of July, excuse me. And, it's fucking prime tourist season in Manhattan. Summer and winter is when you don't want to be in Manhattan. Really, I never want to be in Manhattan, but I never want to be in Manhattan on like fucking Thanksgiving break or during like right after 4th of July. It's hell. But of course, this is the end of July, so it wasn't as bad. But so we're going to the Empire State Building. The problem with that is also that in Manhattan you come across a lot of street vendors who don't have fucking courtesy, and they're trying to make a buck, so they're like fucking getting all up in your face, trying to sell you shit. And one of the people who got all up on our face was this guy who spoke very little English. I believe he was South African. I'm not sure. I didn't ask, but I'm just assuming based on the accent. And he was trying, as far as I could make out, trying to get me to buy a ticket to go to the top of the Empire State Building. So I was like, this sounds fucked up, because I didn't know you had to pay for it. Which you do anyway, but I didn't know you had to pay for, like, I thought maybe you might have to pay for it, but I didn't know you'd have to pay for it outside of the fucking building.
Right, yeah. Down with all the, down there with like all the street vendors and what have you.
Yeah, so I was like, alright. I didn't know. I figured it must have been what was done. I'd never done it before. I said I didn't know how it worked. And my only excuse was I didn't know. So I was just like, alright, I guess I'll try this. So I'm following this guy, and he's taking me down to the building. And all of a sudden, this fucking dude jumps in front of me, and it's just like, hey, you guys looking for tickets to the Empire State Building? Also South African. Different company, though. Like, there are a bunch of companies who sit by the Empire State Building waiting for fucking dumbass tourists like me to come by, and,
Not even the out-of-state dumbass tourist. The dumbass.
Fuck you. Fuck you.
The one that...
Long Island is nothing like Manhattan.
I know.
It's a very different scenario.
I know that now that I know you.
Yeah,
but
it's a whole different beast.
But just to say this, if you don't live in New York and you don't know anybody who lives in New York, you just assume that the entire state is just that way.
Really?
Yeah. Like,
dude, most of New York, like technically, the area that everybody knows is closer to New Jersey, because the capital of New York is Albany, and it's like 3.5 hours away from Manhattan.
Yeah, okay. And
And Albany is nothing like Manhattan. Albany is like mini. It's a good comparison. It's like a giant town. It's all it is. It's a giant town.
I know. Growing up and having never been to the North, I just that was just my assumption. Somebody was like, I was in New York, but I wasn't in New York City, and I was like, there's more up there.
It's a lot bigger than that, dude. Again, I'm telling you, Long Island and Manhattan and the 5 boroughs are all really close to New Jersey and actually are farther away from the capital, so it's kind of fucked up. New York's a weird state. Most of it is fucking rural, which you wouldn't assume based on the popular conception of it. Like, you drive out of Manhattan, you drive for like 40 minutes, it's all fucking farms and forests, or not forests, more like just country.
Yeah.
Not necessarily forest. Like, you're not going to go out there and find Sasquatch.
Yeah, that's like I've told you about earlier this year when I went to Ohio, and it was just corn as far as the eye could see.
Yeah, I remember you talked about that for a while. You're like, Bill, it was nothing but corn.
If I never see another ear of corn, I will be all right.
Yeah, you were just like fucking, you were really like put off by like how much, like you knew there was a lot of corn, but it was how much corn that was there that's like, you were like, what? I didn't know there could be this much corn in one place.
Like, am I in the fucking Twilight Zone?
Yeah, you were outraged by, you're like, there should not be this much corn in one place at one time. This is dangerous for the space and time.
Like, I've seen Children of the Corn. This worries me.
This much corn in one place at this quantity is fucking with my head. This cannot be good. So that didn't happen.
Maybe I have a phobia of corn.
Do you? Oh,
corn.
That's a thing.
Cornophobia. I'm sure there's a better.
No, let's find out what the actual phobia of corn is. But while I'm looking that up,
no, I'm not afraid of corn. I pop those motherfuckers all the time.
8 strange food phobias. Fear of corn. Let's see here. I have a phobia of corn. Well, good for you.
There are people like with legit food phobias, like they'll see like broccoli somewhere and it just fucks with them.
Hang on, I'm trying to find the phobia of corn. What? Okay, it's not. It's giving me different answers. I'm seeing mysophobia. I guess that makes sense because corn is called maize. Zeamaze phobia. There's a bunch of them.
Which is why I refuse to call a corn maze. I like to call it a maze.
It's a maze of mazes.
It's a maze.
So Dylan has a terrifying fear of corn.
Apparently.
No, even if you don't, from this point forward on this podcast, you have a petrifying fear of corn.
Okay.
Like somebody just sticks out in the ear of corn, you shit your pants automatically. Like it's just trained.
This is SO or DFOS canon.
Listen, Dylan. Goes to piss pants, you have a fear of corn. That's just how it works.
Corn is the ghost of shit pants.
No, it's got to be the specter of shit pants.
Exactly.
The ghost of piss pants versus the specter of shit pants.
The specter of shit pants.
No, even better. The shitty specter. Anyway, so back to the story. So I think I was at the point where we're being surrounded by South Africans trying to sell me shit. So, again, this guy jumps in front of me, and I get cut off from the guy who is taking me to the Empire State Building, presumably to do the same thing that this guy does to me, which is ask me if I'm going to the Empire State Building. I'm like, yeah, I can see it right there. Get the fuck out of my way. No, I didn't say that, but I was like, yeah. And he's like, you need a ticket. I'm like, I guess. Are you giving them out? And he's like, yes. Give this to the guy at the desk, and you get to go up. And I'm like, okay. So he prints this like green piece of paper out, and I'm just like, okay. And I start walking to the Empire State Building with Nicola, and I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? Because then the guy who I was following gets all pissed at me. He's like, what? Why did you not follow me? I was going to take you to the building. I'm like, dude, fucking this guy fucking jumped me and was like, hey, buy my shit. And I didn't buy it. I didn't have to buy anything. He literally just gave me this piece of paper. It was so weird. I didn't understand it. So I'm like, sorry, man. He's like, yeah, whatever. He walks away from me. I'm like, what the fuck do you want me to do? So I finally get to the building. I go up to the bellman, and I'm just like, hey, dude, I'm an amateur filmmaker, and I kind of wanted to shoot a really quick and simple scene at the top level. Would that be okay, or am I going to get, stopped and not allowed? And he's like, I don't see a problem. That's fine. So I think he even said he would call up for me to tell the guy at the top that was what was going to happen. And then I was like, I just got stopped by some guys outside, the guys in the blue and red shirts, and they told me that I needed a ticket to get up, and they gave me this. Is this eligible? He's like, He's like, let me see. He's like, I don't even know what the fuck this is. And I was like, he didn't say fuck, but I was like, all right, apparently I just got a random green piece of paper. So I threw it out, and I was like, that was weird. But that's not the story. So then I get up you have to take an escalator up to the, it's kind of like a baggage room in an airport. Like you have to go through x-rays and, people scan you and shit. People get fucking strip search. No, at least as far as I know. So we would go through the x-rays, and we've got bags with us and stuff with the camera equipment. And they get to the tripod, and I knew that they were going to fucking stop us because we had fucking camera equipment. I'm like, I said to them, I've got camera equipment in there. You can check it if you want. It's just camera equipment, so because it's gonna come on in the metal detector. So it comes up, of course, and I said, as I told you, it's film equipment, and I can take it out, I can verify it. And he's like, well, what's this then? And he points inside the X-ray to what appears to be a long, linear, sharp object with a handle on it. And I was like, what the fuck is that? And I was like, oh my god, did a knife accidentally fall into this bag this morning, and now I'm getting stopped by Empire fucking baggage claim that they found a knife in my bag? Because if that happens, I am fucked.
This is how you wind up going to prison.
Yeah, so I was like, shit. And I was like, all right, dude, I swear to God, whatever it is, it shouldn't be a knife, and if it's in there, I had no knowledge of it. So like, we'll see about that. So we pull out the fucking bag, right? Give all the shit out there that I know what it is and I verified. And we pull it out, and the guy's got like fucking gloves on and shit, because God forbid it's gonna fucking explode or some shit, like that's gonna protect him. And guess what it is?
It is.
The handle on the tripod screwed off when he was fucking meddling with it to get the bag on the fucking conveyor belt, and the screw that was going into the tripod was showing out. It looked like a knife because of the silhouette, and I was like, oh, as you can clearly see based on what it looks like and where it's supposed to be attached to, it's a handle. And he goes, sir, you can't take this up with you. And I'm like, dude, you know what it is. I verified it with you before, and I talked to the guy downstairs, and he said it'll be okay. Come on, let me take it up. He's like, I can't let you take it up. It's a potential weapon. I'm like, who the fuck am I going to shank with a goddamn tripod handle?
That's exactly the problem, Bill. Nobody would see it coming.
Because it's so fucking stupid, and it definitely wouldn't work, that nobody would expect it. That was his rationale. I just got distracted, I apologize. So, I'm fucking furious, and he puts all the shit in fucking saran wrap. I don't know why. He puts all the shit in saran wraps, he puts it on a rack, he gives me a card that says you can reclaim it later. I'm like, you know what, dude, fuck it, I don't want it. Just give me the shit back, I'm going down. I don't want to fucking deal with this shit. If you're not gonna... The whole reason I'm here is so I can use this equipment, so... Just fuck you. So, I was very angry, as you can tell.
Indeed.
And I got all my shit. I went back down. And we ended up trying to shoot the scene in Midtown Comics, and they're really cool over there. They let us do it. So we shot a couple takes of the scene in Midtown Comics with one of those big windows they have. And Godzilla was supposed to walk behind the window. The problem was, because of where we were shooting it and the fact that the place was open and it would have been too hard to set up a tripod, we had to shoot it with the Steadicam. You know, with Nicola had to do it with her bare hands. And I was like, try and hold it steady because it's going to be green screen work. And if this doesn't come out right, it's not going to work. So it went to shit very quickly.
I can imagine.
Because people kept coming up and down the stairs, and we had to keep stopping and starting. You know, we were just kind of nervous about doing it with people around. There was some guy there who had clearly had like a learning disability or some kind of mental problem, and he wouldn't stop trying to talk to us about The Dark Knight Rises, which had just come out at that point.
Oh,
and he just...
I remember those days anyway.
So long ago when The Dark Knight Rises came out, and people liked it.
And others didn't.
Yeah, exactly. So this guy won't shut up, and I'm just like, excuse me, I'm trying to record something here. He's like, did you see The Dark Knight Rises? I'm like, yeah, I told you I saw The Dark Knight Rises.
I enjoyed it. Shut up.
I liked it. Just stop bothering me. So we finally got one complete take. Not good. We got one complete take. And I turn to her and I go, how much do you want to bet that it's unusable? I get home later, take the train back to Long Island. And I give it to Sid Part 2, who did the effects for the intro. And usually I go to him when I need effects done. And he's just like, Bill, this is unusable. And I was like, oh God, Nicola owes me money. And the problem turned out not to be the green screen was a problem, but the bigger problem was the audio.
Oh.
Like, it was unintelligible. And I was like, oh, I was so concerned about the green screen, I forgot about understanding what I'm saying, which was drastically more important given what I was doing.
Here, Nicola, hold this camera and this boom mic at the same time.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I didn't even have a boom mic at this point. No conception of booming or whatever. Or booming, that's tilting the camera up and down. Or, or sound, or audio. So, that was the fucking story.
You're just like, audio, that's a factor?
Yeah, basically I was just like, fuck the Empire State Building.
How great would it have been if that one guy just like photobombed your the thing you were recording, like you're doing the thing in front of the window, and all of a sudden this guy just comes on camera and he's like, "Have you seen The Dark Knight Rises?"
asking the audience, "Have you seen The Dark Knight Rises?" And everyone on their computers is just like, "Yeah." And he can't hear them, so he's like, "Have you seen The Dark Knight Rises?"
He just does it over and over and over again, and you're trying to get him to leave.
I start beating the shit out of him, and I get arrested again, this time for assault. And the news paints me as an asshole because the guy had mental problems. Oh, God.
After trying to sneak a sharp object into the Empire State Building, Mr. Worcester then proceeded to beat up a guy with mental problems.
Over photobombing. This guy truly is the epitome of a douchebag. And I have a shitty mugshot. Fucking busted teeth. Got a dick written with Sharpie on my face. Oh, God. My hair's all messed up. Somebody's cut like a fucking satanic symbol into my fucking head.
People around America are like watching your trial.
Everybody wants me to get the death penalty.
Because they
I was framed.
Because they totally hand out the death penalty for assault now.
Oh, God.
They changed the rules specifically for you.
So they were just like, we hate this guy so much just because he gave a nasty review of Godzilla 98. Turns out all these guys are big Roland Emmerich fans. That we're gonna reinstate the death penalty for assault based on his fucking mistakes. I'm just like,
Adam's mad about your hetero review, and he like leads the charge against you.
Well, no, this was before that, so it would have been.
Oh yeah, that's true.
No, it would have been like people were mad because the Godzilla gang has been kind of put on hiatus. You were pissed. It's like, I wrote scripts for this guy and he never fucking shot them.
Fucking lead the charge against you.
I'm just like, Dylan, we were demons from outer space. He's like, what's a demon from outer space?
That hasn't happened yet, you asshole.
I'm just like, Dylan, no! In fact, I think we just met at this point, so it would be really awkward.
Exactly. I'm like Judge, Jury, and Executioner.
You're fucking Judge Dredd. I am the law!
I am the law! And at this point, you're just like, who are you?
And you're like, oh, Batman. I'm like, I thought you were Judge Dredd. Ugh. Oh, God. So, anyway, that's why I don't have any phobias. No,
I like run for political office just so I can give you the death penalty.
Oh, God. Have you ever been stopped like that at, like, an airport or by metal detectors or anything?
No. Only place I really go, like, on a regular basis with, like, metal detectors is, like...
It's McDonald's stuff.
Metal detectors at McDonald's. No, I've been to, our city hall.
No, you're okay, you're right. It was the gay bar down on South Avenue. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's right. I've been to our city hall a few times, and you have to go through this metal detector, so I take my belt off and leave it in the car.
And take my pants off. Because that was code. No. Why do you go to City Hall?
Why did I go to City Hall?
I've never been to my City Hall.
I don't remember why I went to City Hall. This was a while.
Oh my God. And you never got stopped or anything?
I wasn't the one that needed...
Mr. McCandless, there was a large dildo shoved firmly up your ass. You like that thing? Don't mind it.
I don't remember. Actually, I don't think I was the one that had to go to City Hall. I think it was somebody else that I was with had to go there for some reason, and I was just like happened to be.
Oh, okay. Because I was like, Dylan, are you a politician? I don't know.
I was paying my court fees. No.
You're a fucking senator. I was like, I was friends with a senator. I didn't even know. You know about that?
And I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
So no phobias, huh?
I don't think so. Do you have any phobias?
I do. I have.
Other than the fear of Empire State Security guards.
That's not a fear. It's a hatred. It's a sheer, searing hatred. Imagine like one of our biggest fans turns out to be one of the fucking security guards I dealt with, and he was one of the nice guys, and I'm like, fuck that guy.
Fuck him.
I wouldn't fuck him with a stolen dick.
You get angry comments.
Just like, listen, Bill, this is a horrible episode. You were just a fucking hate tank. I have a few phobias. I mean, the big one that is not really going to surprise anybody, I do have a crippling phobia of spiders. Like, if you want to not make me do something, just threaten me with a spider. And not like a little house spider, like a fucking tarantula, and that'll change me. Like, I won't do something. It's like, if my girlfriend was like, hey, let's fucking do anal. And then somebody was like, no, Bill, you can't do that because here's a tarantula. I would stop.
There's a tarantula in her ass.
I'm putting that in a movie someday. That's fucking awesome. There's a tarantula in her ass.
And you're like, oh god.
Ouch. Man, how would you poop? Would every time like the spider have to exit the ass and like fucking...
The spider just moves over to the side.
Shockingly, we didn't think out the logistics of this situation.
We didn't think of the logistics of asshole spiders.
Yeah, exactly. Oh god, that's the enemy. That's the natural enemy of asshole rats is asshole spiders.
The asshole spiders will like set up shop in assholes and prevent asshole rats from entering.
Yeah, they become like a new like fucking deterrent. And I know spiders are really good for the environment and shit, and they're not these horrible fucking demonic creatures. Here's my problem with them. You know, if I believed in God, I would probably, if I ever met him, be like, hey man, listen, you're a fucking dumbass. Because if these things are good for the environment that you created, then why'd you gotta make them look so fucking horrifying? Like, if you're gonna make something that's gonna be good for the environment and like an apex predator and really fucking amazing, don't make it look like that. Look at that thing.
I think it's interesting that so many people have fears of, in particular, spiders and snakes. Because if you think about it, just from the psychological level, people are like hardwired to like be afraid of things that are different from themselves, and so.
Oh, those are polar examples. Yeah.
And so the two things that everybody's afraid of are the things with too many legs and the things with no legs.
Yep. Or I mean, it's definitely the leg. It's the way spiders crawl that freaks me out. Again, especially fucking big, hairy. I'm getting skeeved out just talking about it. Like big, hairy tarantulas. I'm just like, ugh. And Dylan, you know why I have such a petrifying fear of arachnids?
Why do you have such a petrifying fear of arachnids?
One movie and one movie only. Arachnophobia.
Uh-huh.
That's how I got that fear. Was watching that movie. Jaws didn't give me a fear of sharks. Orca didn't make me afraid of orcas. And definitely didn't make me afraid of snakes.
But arachnophobia gave you arachnophobia.
That's a good fucking horror movie, dude. Say what you will, that is a good horror movie. It is a really effective fucking way of turning something that's smaller than you into a horrifying monster.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It's a pretty pimp horror movie.
I completely agree, you know.
And what made me terrified of it was this one particular instance, and that's the ending. The ending is potentially the scariest scene in any movie.
Fuck eight-legged freaks. I say arachnophobia.
Oh, fuck that movie.
I say arachnophobia.
Arachnophobia is a great movie. But it's like you're trapped in a fucking like dank, dark room with these two gigantic spiders. Oh, it's horrifying. It's absolutely horrifying. And they have this like fucking puppet to do the big, huge tarantula, the big fucking like Amazonian fucking fucked up Brazil spider, and it looks horrifying. Because there's this shot where the guy is literally fucking, he's training around the room, just fucking like pointing the flashlight, trying to find this thing so he can fucking torch it. And he stops. He's like, "Where is it? Where is it? Where is it?" And all of a sudden, it pops up and hit. Oh, I'm getting skeeved out talking about it. I can't do it anymore.
I have an uncle that's also deathly afraid of spiders, and
yeah.
I was telling him one time, I was like, a lot of times when like the banana shipments come in from South America, like they find tarantulas in the bananas, and he freaked out, and I knew he would.
Oh.
He freaked out so bad, and I knew he would because he works at a hotel, and part of his job is to unpack the bananas.
Oh, Dylan, you're a cruel bastard. Did you know that when you told him that?
I wasn't aware that he.
Oh my God. That is maybe the worst thing I've ever heard somebody say to another human being, knowing their circumstance.
So you work with bananas, right? You know what's in bananas? Tarantulas.
Tarantulas. Oh. Dude, it's bad.
One day I had a run-in with a spider once.
Once?
Well, on many occasions, but this was the most recent and dramatic example. Okay, so I'm sitting in one of my classes, right? And I feel something on the back of my neck.
Oh, no.
And so I reach back, and I feel it. I can definitely tell that it is something from the arachnid / insect.
Oh, no!
I could tell it.
Dude, you're gonna fucking make me piss myself.
I could tell it was an arthropod, so I grabbed it. I grabbed it, and I threw it down on my desk. And it was a spider. And it was a big...
What kind of spider?
I'm not 100% sure, but it was a pretty fat spider.
Oh!
Like this was...
Was it hairy?
I don't think it was hairy, but it was very bulky. Okay.
Oh, God.
So now this spider, he's on my desk. He's disoriented. He's spinning around in circles, and I can see his little mouth pinchers like snapping open and shut. Like, where is that motherfucker? And then he stops, and he just stares at me. I'm staring down this spider. Okay, we're having like an Old West, there ain't enough room in this town for the two of us type moment. I'm looking into this spider's many eyes, and he's looking back into mine, and all of a sudden he charges at me.
Oh my God, that's fucking terrifying.
The spider starts running across my desk towards me, and so I lift my book up into the air and I struck him down. And the whole time that I'm having this epic battle for my life with a spider, the whole time that I'm having this encounter, nobody else in the classroom noticed because I sit in the back.
Oh, this is in school?
Yes.
Oh, I thought this was in fucking, like, you said you were sick, so I assumed you were at home.
No, I said I was sitting in a class.
Oh, I thought you said sick. Okay.
Yeah, no.
My bad. Oh, this makes this even the more funnier. This is you sitting in the middle of class fucking battling this fucking horror from beyond, like, the age. Oh, my God.
Nobody notices because I sit in the back and nobody else sits on that row. So the teacher is still lecturing.
Oh, God, and you feel triumphant. You're just like, I have conquered thee!
I had to fight back the urge to just yell my war cry.
Demons from outer space! And they're just like, what?
So yeah, that was my recent encounter with a spider.
I've had a bunch. I mean, I will literally vacate a room for hours if I know there's a spider in there. I think the most hilarious, because it was the most embarrassing, was me and Nicola one time went out to get Dunkin' Donuts. This is a while ago. This was a couple years ago. And we get back to my house, and we're sitting in my room watching King Kong Escapes, fucking eating our Dunkin' Donuts. And her and I both have a petrifying fear of spiders. Anyway, so fucking we see a spider in the corner, and we're like, oh fuck. So I get up, and I have a spider killing shoe.
A shoe specifically for killing spiders.
Specifically for killing spiders. And it has got a fucking, like... You know how in the '05 King Kong movie there's that shot where Kong walks through the cave and there's that pan of all the dead Kongs?
Yeah.
It's like that, but with spiders on it. Just fallen spiders who have fallen in my hand, in my terrified hand. Because fear is the sum of violence. So... we're eating, and we see the spider, and we both fucking freak out. We both dart to the opposite side of the room and let the spider have that side. And I immediately, like, if I can't get it with a shoe without thinking it's going to jump on me, I will just start throwing shit. Like, Dylan, I started throwing fucking games, fucking things that could break windows. I mean, I'm chucking shit. I started throwing coins.
Here's my question.
Sure.
Because the answer to this will determine how funny this is. How big of a spider are we talking?
Oh, we're talking like a tiny-ass house spider.
I could just see like a little speck coming down.
No, it wasn't that small. It was maybe like the size of a quarter.
Oh, okay.
It was tiny. And I'm chucking shit at it, just trying to take this thing out, chucking everything I can possibly throw. And I run out of shit to throw. And I'm like, Nicola, there's only one solution to this problem. Because the other thing was, our donuts are on that side of the room. And I'm like, I'm going to dart for the donuts, and we're going to get out of this room and let the spider have the room. And as soon as I'm about to do that, guess what happens?
What happens?
The spider descends down into the bags. Or into one of the bags. And I was like, Nicola, this thing is when we're out of here. We ran out of the room and we left it there for an hour. And when we came back, those bags went immediately in the garbage.
That's great.
Instead of, because God forbid we fucking like put our hands in there and the spider's fucking in there and it fucking kills us.
There's one time I walk into this room, right? I walk into this house. I mean, I'm in the foyer, right? Fucking tile floor. And I look down, and there's this big-ass brown spider. Now, I don't know what kind it is, but when you see a brown spider, and you live in this area, which is very high in brown recluses.
Oh, God, the hobo spider. Those are the ones you want to worry about. Those are the ones, for those of you who don't know, those are the ones, if you go on the internet and you look up fucked up spider bite, these are the problem. These are the ones causing it.
Yeah, these things will eat your skin. Like
I hate. They're fucking.
It basically.
They are horrifying.
It basically turns. You get this big sore, and then a lot of times it'll burst open, and it's a terrifying thing to happen.
It's disgusting.
So,
it's fucking disgusting.
So I don't take the time to check if this is a brown recluse. Obviously,
you just fucking take it out.
I just stomp on this thing, and the minute I do, thousands of little baby spiders.
Oh my God! Are you shitting me? Out of this big spider?
Go everywhere.
Oh my God! I think I've seen that in fucking like Harry Potter and shit.
I guess it was carrying an egg sack.
Oh!
Looking for a place to put it.
Oh my God. That's terrifying, dude. That's horrifying. Ooh. Did you end up killing the mother?
Yeah, that's the one that I stomped on to begin with.
Oh, when you killed it, all the babies came out.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought what happened was you were about to stomp on it, and then like it fucking exploded, and a bunch of babies came out.
No, it didn't like deploy its minions to kill me or anything. It was just, I stomped on it, and then it was like hundreds of baby spiders.
Oh my! Did they get on your shoe?
No, I don't think so.
Oh!
I think I would have noticed by now, so it was just like...
They all declare vengeance on you?
I know how, like, baby spiders...
That's spider.
You know how baby venomous things are. They don't know how much venom to use.
Yeah, that's the thing.
But, I was just like, yeah, this place needs to get fumigated now.
It doesn't really work with spiders, because spiders come and go as they please.
Or whatever the hell you gotta do to a house.
No, you can't. Spiders are one of those things where unless you have a distinct infestation, you can't really fumigate them. Because they will come and go as they please. Because they don't really have a traditional intelligent brain, but they're not stupid. They know if they're getting fucked with.
Right, yeah.
I've seen spiders conspire against me.
Well, I told you the story of the spider that charged across my desk.
Yeah, spiders are like, if you fuck with them, they're like, fuck you! Here's the thing.
Fuck you, cow!
Here's what I think inspires my fear of spiders. To me, a spider is just a machine that's built to kill. Like, there is nothing nice about a spider. Like, when I look at a shark, that is a beautiful animal that just happens to have a mouth of deadly teeth. When I look at a spider, that is a disgusting mass of legs with giant fangs and 1,000 eyes. That's what I see.
And it's a good thing they're small, because the web they produce is, if it was in a stronger quantity, it would be stronger than steel.
Oh, God. I mean, that's what Spider-Man came out of.
The spider webs are actually stronger than steel. The problem is they're so thin that it's not really an issue. But if you could like harvest enough spider silk and like weave it into like a jacket,
Right.
You'd be fucking invincible.
Right, exactly. Oh, I would not wear I would not wear a jacket made of spiders, because that's the other thing, is walking into spider webs is nothing. It's like, ah, ah, ah! Like, I will verbally scream if that happens. Especially here, we have a giant-ass fucking, I don't even know what it is, we have a giant-ass fucking spider that always comes out during the summer, and there's a bunch of them, and they fucking, like, populate the entire neighborhood. And I have no idea where they go in the winter. Like, they just fucking disappear. But in the summer, they're fucking gigantic. They come out and they produce giant webs that will go across your entire yard. That's how big these things are. It's fucking insane. So yeah, it's pretty nuts, dude. I fucking hate spiders. I really do. Because I fucking give them a personality where I'm like, the only thing that thing wants is me dead.
You basically look at the spider like the velociraptor from Jurassic Park.
No, even a velociraptor. I can see the beauty in a velociraptor. And I can see why they're going to eat you. A spider just wants to kill for the sake of killing.
You just look at the spider and you're like, clever girl.
Oh. That, and they're also just fucking terrible human beings. They fucking eat their mates and shit.
Did you just say that spiders are terrible human beings?
I did, Dylan. I absolutely did, and I stand by that statement with all my heart.
Spiders are terrible human beings.
Spiders are terrible people, as it turns out.
My spider was a drinker and a fiend.
I take out, like, my fucking arm, and it's still pussy. You want to know how I got these scars? Absolutely not! Put that thing away!
I went to Tennessee and got bit by a brown recluse.
Yeah, there was some asshole, and he stepped on a spider, and a bunch of mini ones came out, and they all swarmed to me out of hatred, and took me down.
I wasn't even the right guy.
They just saw something that vaguely looked like a human and just attacked. One of my arms did not survive, but this one is still slightly usable. So they kept it.
So,
look at it. Look at it!
So as a child, were you just, like, deeply disturbed by Charlotte's Web?
No, it didn't really start until I was about 8.
Okay.
No, because also Charlotte's Web, that spider is a person with 8 legs. That's what it is.
That spider is a perfect gentleman.
Oh, it's a chick, so
whatever.
No.
Whatever.
They're all the same. Dicks, pussies, it's all the same.
I didn't remember the gender of the spider from Charlotte's Web. Whatever.
Well, the thing is, she didn't have, like, a spider face. She had, like if spiders looked like that, they would still be horrifying in that, like, oh my god, that spider has a human face.
Yeah, I love the way that, like, cartoons draw bugs for children. They always just give them a human face. Sometimes.
Yeah, well, that's because you can't give them bug faces and make them likable. They're fucking horrifying.
Arthropods are just terrifying creatures.
They are. They really are.
And the worst part is, this is the one that's just terrible, just on a thinking level. Mm-hmm. Mites. Do you know what, like, skin mites are?
Yeah, I do.
And these are in the arachnid family.
Oh, God. Like fucking termites and...
So they're, like, related to spiders, and they're microscopic, and they will burrow down in your skin and lay eggs.
Yep.
And then those eggs will hatch, and then make more burrows into your skin, and lay more eggs, and then some of them, like, have sex in your skin and create more eggs.
I think what might have incited my fear of spiders initially, aside from arachnophobia, I read this book.
Was Kumanga.
No, Kumanga was never really a problem because he was always big and fucking... he was a kaiju, so it wasn't just a giant spider. Now, the giant tarantula, that I couldn't deal with.
The tarantula from Tarantula, you were just like, my god.
Yep. Well, because it was a real tarantula.
I know, but I was terrified of them as a child, and I don't have a fear of ants.
Why?
Why what?
That wasn't a scary movie.
I was like 5.
Saw that movie when I was fucking 3. You're a fucking pussy. No, I'm
fucking 3.
This is coming from the guy who just told you a story about how, like, the fucking spider landed in donuts and we abandoned the donuts.
I think what got me when I watching them as a child, it wasn't even the giant ants themselves. I think it was that unearthly noise that they made.
think it was the build up to. I'm just busting your balls. I think it was the build up to them that was really effective. You don't see them for like 15 minutes.
It was never the way they look. It was never seeing the giant ants that got me. It was the
although they did look fairly good for the time. They did some.
They look fine. I'm just saying.
Yeah, they did something creative. Like in a situation like that, it would either be stop motion, which is what you would expect because this is right after the Beast of 20,000 Fathoms came out.
Yeah.
It's either going to be stop motion, or it's going to be a puppet.
Yeah, I mean, it looked great. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying it wasn't them. It wasn't them. It wasn't them and them. It wasn't the giant ants themselves. It was whenever they would come, they would make that noise.
Yeah. Yep.
And that noise got to me for some reason.
And it's weird because I feel the same way about when you watch The Abominable Snowman of the Himalayas, which is, I think, one of the best horror movies ever made. And the reason why that movie is so terrifying is because, A, the monster doesn't kill anybody, and B, that fucking sound is like, oh my god. It's sad, it's tragic, it's fucking scary. That high-pitched wail, I'm just like, oh my fucking god. Like you watch a Bigfoot like documentary, and that's what gets you. It's not the fucking Bigfoot themselves. It's that fucking scream.
Yeah.
That and also Peter Cushing is fucking amazing in that movie.
It's not the fact that there's a fucking man-ape. It's the fact.
Well, no, I mean, even when they show the snowmen at the end, you're not scared of their design. Although they do look kind of creepy because they give them like these weird. They don't look like ape men. They look like fucking ancient people with beards and oh, it's fucking creepy. If you haven't seen Abominable Snowman in the Himalayas, it is a great movie. Have you seen it, Dylan?
Abominable Snowman of the Himalayas. I think. Well,
with Peter Cushing?
I know I've seen a Yeti movie.
There's a bunch of them apparently.
The huge genre of.
There was there was a weird explosion of them in the late 50s. Like you had Snow Creature, which is an awful movie. I reviewed that on my channel last year. Snow Creature. You had Abominable Snowman. Then you had Half Human, which I still haven't seen. The huge subgenre of Yeti exploitation. Well, there are definitely a lot of Bigfoot movies now.
Yeah.
Like every other week on Sci-Fi, it's like fucking Bigfoot fucks a whale.
There's enough that you could have a Sasquatchapalooza.
I could, I won't. That's Adam's job. Adam can do the Sasquatchapalooza.
That's a great title.
Yeah.
He needs to do it now, just because I like that title.
Mm-hmm.
Sasquatchapalooza.
Oh. Speaking of, it's so funny that this is a segue. The reason why I bring this up is, Dylan, there's a phobia of Sasquatch. There's a phobia of Sasquatch? Yep.
At least this one makes sense. There are some phobias that I'm like, why would you be afraid of that?
Like, I mean, if you accept if you accept the possibility that Bigfoot may or may not exist,
yeah,
then this is a legit phobia. And now I'm trying to find the name.
It's like people that are 100% convinced that they've been abducted by aliens.
Right.
If they're like legit convinced of that, then I get it.
Right.
Like if they're really that insane.
The fear of Sasquatch and Yetis is called Sosantoglytophobia. Sosantoglytophobia.
Who names these things?
Fucking people who don't want people to be... people who don't want to make sense make up these names, Dylan.
I would have just called it Sasquatchophobia.
Or just fucking Bigfootophobia.
Bigfootophobia. The fear of big feet.
I'm sure that's a fear too.
I'm sure it is. I'm sure I'm terrifying to some people. I wear a size 15.
Oh really? I wear a 13.5.
I want to find somebody now who has a fear of big feet. Just so I can scare the shit out of them.
Let's see if it's a real fear. Phobia of big feet.
Like, look at that shit, huh? Huh?
Oh, you better believe it's a thing.
What do you think of that? It is a thing.
Oh my God, there's no specific fear of big feet. There's a fear of feet in general. That's called podophobia.
They like never look at the ground because then they would see their own feet.
No, I think it's more of a fear of bare feet, and not bears' feet, like feet that are like feet that are you know what I mean.
I have a fear of bears' feet.
Well, that'll be a paw, so fuck you. But the other one, there's another phobia that I have that's a lot more abstract.
See, I really want to go hunt down a bear and kill it and then mount its arms on my wall. And if anybody asks, I'll tell them that I had the right to bear arms.
That's a great fucking joke.
I gotta admit, I did steal that from an episode of Family Guy. Giving credit where it's due.
Yeah, fair enough. Dylan, I have another phobia. This one's a lot more weird. This is the one where it's like, what? I have a petrifying fear of not water, and by water I mean like the sea. I have a petrifying fear of water that I can't see and large things in the water.
I think you've told me about this.
Yeah. Okay, so basically, I refuse to go night swimming in the ocean. And if I go night swimming in a pool, there better fucking be a light on. Just because I'm terrified of not knowing what's under the water.
Because there could be a shark in the pool.
No, more it's a fear of Alligator 2, because there was an alligator in a pool in that movie and then fucking ate a kid. Because he on a dare, he jumped in the pool, and the alligator fucking ate him.
It's the fear of ghost shark.
Oh my God. That is such a fucking hilarious premise for a movie.
Have you seen it?
Turn off the faucet! Yes, I've seen bits and pieces of it. Like, there's this one scene where kids are playing in a fire hydrant, and the fucking shark comes out of the fire hydrant and eats the kids.
Yeah, there's one where a kid goes down a slip and slide. And the shark just materializes at the end of it and bites him.
Yeah, that's fucking stupid.
As stupid as the premise is, there are actually some moments in it where it gets some general, like, tension, because there's one scene where they're in this museum, and all of a sudden the sprinklers come on, and you're like, they're fucked.
Yeah.
This one...
Why is it, if it's ghostly, why is it bound even by water?
I don't know. It can materialize in water. This one girl gets attacked while she's in the bathtub, but for some reason she doesn't die. There's this one scene...
How does she not die?
I don't know. I thought she was dead, but then in the next scene, this person pulls her out of the water, and she's still alive. I'm like, did the shark just get full and leave?
Was she, like, mangled up and shit?
Yeah, she was injured.
Did she have, like, missing limbs?
But, I mean, that's weird when you juxtapose it against some of the other scenes in the movie. Like, this one part where these girls in bikinis are doing this car wash, and one of them gets sucked down into a bucket while blood is spurting back out of it. Like,
oh, that's fucking funny.
Like the bed from Nightmare on Elm Street. There's just, like, blood shooting out of this bucket while you just see the legs going down as if it's like a wood chipper.
How is it not, like... Wait, how does that make sense? How does that work? Like, the water isn't infinite.
I don't know.
Like, if the shark can materialize out of water, like, I get that in a fucking bullshit pseudoscience way, but the bucket doesn't automatically become a TARDIS. It's not bigger on the inside.
Well, because he's eating her as she's going down. Therefore, she is...
But where is she going?
She is in his belly.
But how can the shark, like, move? It's a ghost shark. It shouldn't be able to consume.
That's a good question, though. I think we're putting way much more thought into this than the writers of Ghost Shark.
Probably.
Because the explanation for it is there's this magic cave, right?
Oh no, magic cave. That always starts off to a great gay porn.
The magic cave.
Welcome to the magic cave. Oh my.
Oh my.
Welcome to the magic cave, William Shatner.
There's this.
What's going on?
There's this magic.
George, why have you brought me to this cave?
There's a magic cave, and if you put a body in it, then.
Sorry, I just dropped Drop my fucking phone.
If you put the body in it, like this one guy was like lived in this lighthouse right next to the cave, and his wife's body was in the cave, so like her ghost was wandering around. So that's the explanation. It's kind of like the Pet Cemetery, only instead of rising back,
But it's for the fucking cave. How does where does the shark come in?
it washed into the cave.
Oh, that's fucking stupid.
Its dead body washed into this cave, and
wait, hang on. Where is this cave? Is the cave on like a coastline?
yeah, it's like on the beach.
Oh, okay. I thought this was like a cave, like in the fucking desert. I'm like, how the fuck did the shark get there?
Somebody took it there.
I'm thinking of like Bronson Cave, where they film all the sci-fi movies and shit.
But yeah, that's the explanation. Magic cave causes ghost shark.
Of course it does. You know what it really causes? The ghost of Piss Pants and the shitty specter.
My God, somebody put piss pants in that cave.
No, it was just a guy who pissed himself, and then they put him in the cave, and he became the ghost of Piss Pants. That's Piss Pants' origin.
Those sons of bitches.
That is the dark origin of the ghost of Piss Pants. And the shitty specter,
And the shitty specter
is a waste treatment plant that's possessed. And the guy fell into the waste treatment plant, and he became the shitty specter. It sounds like a crappy superhero in the styles of the gay ghost.
The shitty.
There's an actual superhero called the Gay Ghost.
Really?
Yeah, I shit you not. He was in the 30s, and there was a legit superhero named the Gay Ghost.
Oh, okay, in the 30s. So it's that kind of gay.
It is, but his outfit does not help at all. He wears a fucking bright leotard and a purple cape, and he doesn't wear a mask, and he's got like long flowing hair.
Oh my God, I'm looking at him.
It's fucking awesome.
I'm looking at him on Google. I love on Wikipedia. It says the Gay Ghost, later renamed the Grim Ghost.
I'm sure he was. Isn't that a fucking switch? The Gay Ghost to the Grim Ghost.
You know what else is even funnier? When you type the Gay Ghost into Google Images, one of the suggestions that pops up is John Travolta.
I know, and you know why that is?
Why?
Because of Hollywood Babylon.
Oh.
Hollywood Babylon is one of the Kevin Smith podcasts, and there was a bit they did for a long time about John Travolta playing the Gay Ghost in live action, because there was this string of stories like about a year and a half ago where he was apparently fucking trying to rape male masseuses. So they started calling him the Gay Ghost.
Okay.
And his impression was what? Where? Boo.
The Gay Ghost.
Oh God.
That is amazing. I mean,
we need an Avengers group of fucking retarded ghosts, like fucking Slimer, Piss Pants, the shitty Spectre,
Gay Ghost.
The Gay Ghost, the original Ghost Rider.
I mean, it makes
like the one.
It makes a little more sense when I find out that he's from the 30s. You know, back when you.
Yeah, like you fucking like 1985, the Gay Ghost, not that kind of gay. Like, you can't take that word back.
No, you can't.
It's not gonna happen.
This is no longer the 30s. You can never get away again with saying, "Hey, let's go smoke some fags and have a gay old time." It doesn't.
No, you can say fags because people will be like, "Oh, I get that that's from a different country, but just gay old time." It's like we're gonna go fuck somebody in the ass, and there's nothing wrong with that if you're into that sort of thing. But
it's bad enough. It's bad enough that we have a Christmas song that talks about your gay apparel. Okay.
Again, nothing wrong with being gay, but just if you're not, it's like,
It's like the meanings of these words have changed over time.
Well, it's just when you take them out of context, it's like, oh my God.
The Gay Ghost.
We'll have a gay old time. You just cut through like a shitty flash animation of like fucking Fred humping Bonnie.
A bunch of superheroes get into a race for some reason, and they're like, and the Gay Ghost is bringing up the rear.
I think he's a DC character as far as I remember. He's either DC or he's something else. I don't remember. Or he's Charlton. I don't remember.
He's either DC or he's something else.
No, because he's definitely not a Marvel hero, because Marvel wasn't really around in the 30s.
Marvel never had the Gay Ghost.
No, but they did have the original Ghost Rider, who might as well have been the Gay Ghost. Decked out in a full white suit. Fucking bullshit, dude. Fuck the original Ghost Rider. Fuck him up the ass.
I'm sure he would like that, Bill.
I'm sure him and the Gay Ghost.
The Gay Ghost Rider. Oh, that's suggestive.
And all of it makes sense in context too.
You have the gay ghost and you have the gay ghost rider. Ooh.
He's gay, he's a ghost, and he rides, if you know what I mean.
Oh my. Actually,
Oh my.
his name implies straight up that he rides the gay ghost, so...
So he's the gay ghost. So it's the gay ghost and the gay ghost rider. The gay ghost rider is the dominant part of the relationship.
Clearly. I mean, he wears a leather jacket and has a fiery motorcycle.
Yep. Well, no, I'm talking about the original.
Oh yeah, the original. That's right.
The one who rode on the horse. Here, I'll show you. You ever see the original Ghost Rider? The one that was all in white?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, that Ghost Rider.
That one.
The stupid one. He's the gay Ghost Rider.
The gay Ghost Rider.
Yes.
He meets the modern day Ghost Rider. He's like,
people will always complain that we don't have enough homosexual characters in comics. There you go. The gay Ghost and the gay Ghost Rider.
They were just coded. They weren't like, you know... Well, I mean, the gay Ghost Rider was pretty overt, but...
We're all fairly confident about what's going on there.
We're pretty sure.
We're confident that those two are fucking. Yeah.
They're going after that ghost dick.
Yeah, they're taking it up the ass. Pretty much is what's going on there. Just letting you know. I didn't really need to know that. Well, now you do! Fucking Jeff Loeb yelling at somebody. We're not Jeff Loeb. Dan Zadeo, the guy who runs DC. Listen, we're starting a new book here at DC Comics, and we're very excited about it. It's called The Gay Ghost and the Gay Ghost Rider, because we don't have a Batman and Robin book anymore because we killed off Damian Wayne. So what we're doing instead is we're doing a book about the gay ghost, who's a character we haven't seen in a bunch of years, and his partner in crime and in the ass, the gay Ghost Rider. Now Marvel hasn't sued yet, but before they do, we're going to give you the greatest comic book ever published.
Somebody in the meeting just like raises their hand. They're like, "You are aware that we renamed the character Grim Ghost, right?"
Well, now we're going back to the gay ghost, and you know why? Ask me why, I dare you. Ask me why, damn it!
Why?
Because we can! That's why. Dan went on a really big coke binger over the weekend. I think that's why we're getting this speech now. He drew a bunch of fucked up pictures that are going along with it. The book isn't even a superhero book, it's just these two guys fucking.
Just comic porn.
Pretty much. It's like Japanese hentai, but with two gay dudes. Both in costume.
Oh, God. There's enough of that on the internet for free if you're into that sort of thing.
Yes, exactly. We don't need it in comics, too. Or maybe we do, Dylan. Maybe that's the change that we need.
Maybe that's what DC needs to do to recover from the New 52.
They need to make a gay-ass book about two gay dudes just fucking for 24 pages. Listen, that book comes out, gay or not, that book will sell.
The next time they do like a big like crisis level event, it's just an orgy.
Batman finally comes out of the closet. All the Robins do as well.
All the Robins?
Yeah. Even the female ones like fucking Carrie Kelly and Stephanie Brown.
Yes.
This is a thing that'll happen one day. Just you wait.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
The Gay Ghost and the Gay Ghost Rider coming. Who would you have to write that?
Who would I have to write that?
I mean, immediately my first answer is I really want it to be Neil Gaiman. Out of sheer irony for the name.
Exactly.
The Gay Ghost and the Gay Ghost Rider, written by Neil Gaiman.
Neil Gaiman. You have to pronounce his name like that.
Yes.
Neil Gaiman.
I think Morrison could. See, Morrison can turn anything into a good book.
So you just hand.
So you give him 24-page porn, And he will turn that into the greatest piece of writing ever put on the page.
That's the reason he has to do it, because otherwise it's just a crappy comic book where a bunch of people.
Otherwise, it's just porn, and there's plenty of that. Like there's got to be something special about the Gay Ghost and the Gay Ghost Rider.
So that people who are reading it, this is the title of the episode, right? So that people.
Oh, absolutely. I decided that when I came up with the name.
As soon as people read this comic book, they're like, I don't agree with the premise, but damn, that's a good book.
I'm a strict homophobe, but come on.
That was well written.
What?
That shit was well written.
Listen, this is against God and shit, but Morrison wrote one hell of a book. I was considering excommunicating myself from the church. Just so I could read this and not feel bad about it. Morrison's like, wow, I guess that's what happens when I get really stoned.
Who would you get to draw it?
Oh, God.
Or a more prone question might be, who could you get to draw it?
Jim Lee fucking draws the most fucked up porn you've ever seen.
Who could you convince to draw it?
I mean, quietly and Morrison will do anything together. So maybe quietly be like, why not? I'll draw some gay porn.
Part of me wishes that Rob Liefeld would draw it, just because I'm.
Oh my!
Just because I'm interested in seeing how the proportions play.
Oh my God! Oh, you ever seen that infamous picture of Captain America without the like the one that he drew, and then somebody drew it nude, and how fucked up it looked?
Oh, yeah.
Like the chest was like he looked like he had a giant tumor in the middle of his chest. It was fucked up.
Yeah, the Rob Liefeld Captain America.
You gotta love the Rob Liefeld Captain America. Oh, I want that to happen now. I want Grant Morrison and Rob Liefeld to team up on a book and do it as the Gay Ghost and the Gay Ghost Rider.
Like, this thing is so well written, but the art sucks so bad.
And because of that, I have to read it. It is the greatest comic ever published.
Just due to that combination.
Yes. Yes.
Oh God! Somebody went in and took the image of Chris Evans from the Captain America movie and CG'd it to make it look like Rob Liefeld Captain America.
Oh God, I've never seen that. That's fucking funny.
It's hilarious.
So yeah, Rob Liefeld and Grant Morrison draw with guest pencils by Rags Morales. I buy that book. Tell me you don't buy that book.
Buy the fuck out of that book.
Right? And then you read it, and then we come on and we talk about it.
We do a whole discussion about the Gay Ghost and the Gay Ghost, which I'm pretty sure we just did.
Right, but we just came up with the idea. Now we have to actually talk about it as it's executed.
Bill.
What?
This is Chris Evans as Rob Liefeld's Captain America.
Oh, God. Oh, my. Ew! That's horrifying. That's absolutely horrifying.
If you ever just look at a Rob Liefeld drawing and think, how would that look in real life? You'll be like, oh my God.
Oh my God. He looks deformed. He looks horrifyingly deformed. Ugh. Ugh. He looks insanely fat too.
This is why you never want to see the Kingpin shirtless, because apart from being fat, he's actually not fat. All of that is supposedly muscle, according to comics canon. So it's got to look like this, but way more extreme.
Right, exactly. That's why Michael Clark Duncan was such a good choice to play the Kingpin. Because that's what he is. He's a brick shithouse. He's not fat. He's just got fucking so much muscle.
Yeah.
Fucking. So that's the Gay Ghost and the Gay Ghost Rider. As written. I'll fucking write it. You do the art.
In the style of Rob Liefeld.
No, you have to trace everything, so it'd be like, fucking, you trace individual images of gay porn. You just put the costumes on them. And the fucking angles make no sense because the capes are getting in the way of the sex.
You know what's even more terrifying about the Rob Liefeld Captain America?
What's terrifying about the Rob Liefeld Captain America?
Most of the width of his chest, most of it is covered up by that arm. So we also have to consider the ability, or consider the fact that he could be arching his back to like an insane degree.
Oh. Man, this dude is a bad artist.
I love it when, like, Len Cara just goes off on Rob Liefeld.
I love it. It's so fucking cool. He's so funny when he strips that. It sucks, too, because I've heard he's really nice in person, or at least he's really nice to the fans.
Ooh, Rob Liefeld?
Yeah.
He just has trouble drawing things.
He's really bad at his job.
The thing is, I feel like if he would take more time, he would be better. Because obviously he just fucks up his proportions. If he would just take time to work on the proportions, he would be a really good artist. Because in terms of quality, his stuff is very clean looking, you know?
Right. I mean, it looks horrible, but...
He also has trouble with feet, I think. Is it feet?
Yeah, he has a problem where to put feet. Wow, he did a shitty job drawing Captain America. Needless to say. What the fuck? He did a run on Captain America with Jeff Loeb?
Apparently.
No wonder it was awful. Makes sense.
I bet he could draw Juggernaut all right.
He'd probably find a way to fuck that up, too.
Just because he does insane proportions. Well, it's the Juggernaut, bitch.
Oh my god, fuck Rob Liefeld now. Guess what I just found out?
What?
A lot of the panels he does is traced from other issues. And he just puts his own shitty style on it.
Who does that?
Oh my god, he did it to The Dark Knight Returns.
Rob Liefeld drew The Dark Knight Returns?
No, he took a panel from The Dark Knight Returns and traced it.
Oh. On the one hand, that's terrible. On the other hand, then there's no excuse for it to look this bad.
Yeah, exactly, right? He just sucks.
He just took an image, traced it, and then added messed up proportions and guns with 20 barrels.
Oh my... Yeah, exactly. And he didn't do anything, yeah.
And, like, vests with, like, way too many pockets.
Right. Right.
Right,
you're absolutely right.
Because in the 90s, this was just the way you designed a character. It was basically like creating a Digimon. You just take a normal basis and then strap as many, like, fucking, like, weapons and, like, pockets and fucking, like, jackets and vests and just jack that shit up. Look at Cable from the 90s, man. Yeah,
Cable was the definite example. Oh, God. Captain America. I mean, fucking Rob Liefeld just could not draw Captain America.
Cable carries around guns that the sheer just kickback from them should break every bone in his body.
Right. Oh, God. Yeah. Yep. Rob Liefeld sucks. Well, Dylan, I think that's going to do it. I think we've got about an hour and a half, roughly, I think. Yeah. So, Dylan, I think that's going to do it for this week's edition of the Demons from Outer Space. You got anything else to add?
No. I think that just about covers it.
All right, I think that's going to do it. That's going to do it for this week's edition of the Demons from Outer Space. Coming this weekend, we also have the Sons of Serizawa podcast coming soon.
In which we will do a commentary on an episode of JJ the Jet.
Yeah, so let me announce this now. We're planning on trying to do a commentary on a JJ the Jet Plane episode because
we promised
a long time ago we said we would at the 10th episode.
Guess what episode it is?
It's episode 10, so we're going to try and do that. Unfortunately, Adam will not be joining us. So he's going to miss out on the JJ the Jet Plane scrutiny. But hopefully he'll be back next week. I think that's going to cover it for announcements. You got anything to say? Maybe about a show that you do on a semi-regular basis.
Right, yeah, there will be, hopefully, an episode of Kaiju Spotlight in December. I know there wasn't one in November, and I will address that in the episode itself. But,
there was a reason behind that.
There was a reason. So, yeah, look for that.
I had to regenerate.
So, I know the voice sounds the same. I went to Karn, and they gave me a potion that would allow me to keep this sensuous voice.
Otherwise, aside from that, I don't have a head anymore. I talk out of my ass, literally. It's fucked up. Doctor Who lied to me. When you regenerate, you don't stay human. You just go all over the fucking gene pool.
You just come out looking like the human centipede.
Yeah. So that's coming back soon.
Yes. Hopefully.
Awesome.
Yes.
I am looking forward to it. So anyway, I think that's going to do it for this week's episode of the Demons from Outer Space. I am Zazubar.
And I am Super DM64, reminding you that all these moments will be lost in time like tears in rain.
And those Germans, they be fucked up.